just maybe bringing along some support cast for him tonight. But, Steve, the most pleasing thing for Shane Heal is he's really tried to instill a defensive mentality in the Sydney Kings. They were giving up 89 points a game, and in Shane Heal's first up game against the Townsville Croc, score 69 to the Townsville Croc. So, bit early to say that there's too much of a trend after one game, but early signs were good for Shane Heal and what he's trying to achieve with the Sydney Kings.
Well, you couldn't have scripted that any better if you're a Sydney Kings fan. As we are underway, Luke Cooper brings it up for the Sydney Kings. ANZBallaz has Tommy Greer all over him. Madgen runs out of space in the corner, looking for a teammate. Shot clock down to 7. Kazoo with a catch. No room. Shot clock was down to 3. Matt Burston's going to pick up a foul. He's not happy with that one. And Melbourne had done a good job defensively with the shot clock winding down.
The Sydney Kings also, give them credit, looked sharp the way they executed that first upset. Matty Burston down low, and Ben Madgen on the twirl splashes the nice mid-range jump shot. And Ben Madgen is one that Shane Heal singled out after that first game. He was thrilled with his defensive performance, held Peter Crawford to only 6 points against Townsville. That's an amazing effort.
Amazing effort. Peter Crawford has been fantastic for him. ANZBallaz gets it over to Cooper. Madgen, little step back jumper to see how hot he is. He's 1 for 2. Myron Allen, probably the best rebounder Melbourne Tigers have, pulls that one down.
And that's a bit of an indictment on the Melbourne Tigers. Myron Allen at barely 6 foot, averaging 6 rebounds a game since he's got on board. Matty Burston on the glass, and that's why he's gotten the start. His rebounding efforts over the last couple of games has impressed Trevor Gleeson, but there's an easy transition basket for the Sydney Kings.
And Luke Cooper did a good job of taking it all the way to the hoop, drawing the defense, and then laying it off. Burston can't get the score.
Just sense the Melbourne Tigers, I know it's early in this game, but over the last period, losing 8 out of 9 games, as you'd imagine, your confidence is one of the issues that you have to address, as well as your structure and what you're trying to do. And right now, the Melbourne Tigers looking out of sorts on the offensive end.
Luke Cooper off the mark outside the three-point line.
Steve, most coaches, and Trevor Gleeson's the same, has been focusing on the defensive effort of the Melbourne Tigers, but really, for my liking, the last games that have gone through this terrible stretch, it's been their offense. Just not able to put points on the board at consistent level. And it's somewhat ironic is that they shoot the ball. They're the second leading field goal percentage shooting team in the competition, but they're second last in attempts.
Yeah, that's
so just not getting enough attempts, and it's hard to break out of that funk when you've lost so many games, just to get that rhythm and timing back when your confidence is down. That's going to be a big challenge tonight.
It puts so much pressure on your defense.
That's correct.
Grant goes up strong. Kazoo. Shot clock violation because Jerry Grant's shot did not hit the rim. So it's the Kings still up 4-0. Melbourne yet to score after 2.5 minutes of play. Walker having a little trouble getting it into Myron Allen.
This has been the trend all year with a lot of the teams, the extended full court pressure, and Shane Heal, see him barking at his charges, wanting them to get up and in.
Madgen a little late on trailing the cutter. Burston on the offensive glass and good hands by ANZBallaz breaks up the play.
Very good early signs here by the Sydney Kings. Got that body language and that tempo about the way they're going about it. Oh, there's a lucky one by Ron Dorsey. I can guarantee you he didn't call glass on that shot, and that's what it did do. It kissed the glass and gets the lucky break.
And he'll take that anytime. The trick is to get up with a little bit of swagger when you're lucky. Imagine with a good look outside the three-point line. Kazoo comes up with a rebound, but was falling out of bounds and had to let it fly. Ooh. Allen just loses the handle. Imagine. A little out of control, but he regains his balance, but misses the layup. Did all the hard work and missed the layup.
And he sees disgusted himself coming back. Push off by Myron Allen.
Dorsey to Greer. Good hedge by Grant. He knocks it loose. Walker, 2 seconds on the shot clock, splashes the three, and now it's the Tigers up 1.
And that's a bonus. Lucas Walker, not renowned for his three-point shooting.
Kazoo with the jump hook. That's off the mark, and that will be Tigers ball.
Thanks, bud. Grant got the lob. Grant got the lob. You're right, man.
So now it's the Tigers who have gone on a 5-0 run as the Sydney Kings started out opening the scoring.
And I just have to look twice at my statistics here, but Lucas Walker shooting it at a very subpar 6% in the three-point line.
Well, the only reason he shot that thing was the shot clock was winding down, and you know your theory.
His form and his technique is not terrible. It's just having that confidence within himself and also trying to generate the confidence in your coach to allow you to let a few fly.
Imagine does a good job getting it to Kazoo. Lucas Walker looked like a defensive back from the Dallas Cowboys on that one.
We see the first subs coming in. The leading scorer in the competition at 17.5 points. Cameron Tregar checking in for Matty Burston and also Daniel Gillen. Steve, in all the games that I've seen this year, and I may have missed some, I don't believe Trevor Gleeson has ever played Cameron Tregar and Matty Burston together. Well, he certainly hasn't done it a lot. And when you think of a team that last in the competition in rebounding, I thought there might have been some times where you just spend a little bit more time with both those guys on the floor at the same time.
You would think so, especially when your team is struggling. You'd be trying any type of combination.
Well, he has had a fair crack at a lot of different variations. Some of them forced on him, of course, with losing Paddy Mills and Myron Allen's the foul, and losing Paddy Mills, and then, of course, also losing Ainde Ubak up. Trevor Gleeson has been thrown a few challenges this season.
Yeah, to say the least.
That's an offensive foul. Ron Dorsey trying to fight over the top of the screen. Just got the left arm out and hooked, going around trying to get around the defense.
Well, to say this game has started off slow would be an understatement.
We're certainly not setting the scoreboard alight. It's played almost 5 minutes and the score's 5-4. And it's reflected in the field goal percentages, as you can imagine. The Sydney Kings at 22% and the Melbourne Tigers at 25%. So
it's like a rebounding drill.
Give a lot of credit to the defense. Defense is out here working hard.
Well, Imagine gets 1 out of 2. We're all tied up at 5. Cam Tregar, that's the matchup we're telling you about. Ron Dorsey gets it to Dillon. Lucas Walker finds Cam Tregar on a good feed. I thought Lucas Walker was about to jack up another 3. The shot clock had been winding down pretty close. Well-timed pass. Kazoo a long way from the hoop. Bose on a little rip-through, pulls up, going left. Walker in the open court. Is knocked over by Luke Cooper.
It is, and we're going to see a timeout on the floor. Now, excuse me, timeout by the Sydney Kings, in fact. As I reckon both these coaches will be focusing on their offense as we see the Melbourne Tigers. They lead it 7-5.
Introducing the new improved Bacon Deluxe from Hungry Jack's. Yep, that's delicious flame grilled beef. And that's cheese. Okay, now show me that new premium iBacon. Tomatoes. Got it. Ripe tomatoes. Where's that iBacon? Okay, and crisp fresh lettuce. Show me the... bacon. The new improved Bacon Deluxe. Now made with premium iBacon. Part of the new Better Tastes menu. Hungry Jack's makes it better.
Well, before the game, Andrew Gaze caught up with Trevor Gleason and asked him about, I believe, rebounding and the Sydney Kings.
Yeah, look, we have to do a really good job. We can't let Grant or Kazoo jump over the top of us, so we're going to have to be physical with them and keep them away from the rim, and hopefully we can shoot the ball at a higher clip that we know rebounds.
Well, they certainly doing not a bad job on the boards tonight. They've already got the 6 rebounds, and they're out rebounding the Kings to 5, but they haven't been able to get
a lot of opportunities for rebounds.
There has been. They haven't been able to find success at the offensive end, where they're 3 of 9 at 33%.
Tragah hands it off to Dillon, goes a turn to corner. He just bullies his way in there, but can't finish it. Graham Dan kicks it to Magin. He goes the length of the court for another score. Kings applying some full court pressure to get the Tigers out of rhythm, and it's worked. Myron Allen, a little too much attention from Graham Dan.
And that was just Shane Heal was real upset with Anatoly Bose. They were looking at their extended defense on a made basket, and Anatoly Bose missed his assignment. And that's what Shane Heal was upset about, and giving some instructions on what he needs to do on a made basket.
He yanked him too, didn't he? He didn't like that. As Myron Allen shows, as he had done all year, that he can knock down the shot if you go under the screen.
Steve, he's averaging 12 points a game, 6 assists and 6 rebounds, so he is looking like a keeper for the NBL and the Melbourne Tigers. Players of his abilities don't come around all that easily, and he certainly's got the skill to play at this level. There's no doubt about that.
Magin comes up short. Graham Dan on the offensive glass throws it into the bottom of the backboard. Dorsey finds Tragah. A little fall away off the glass. Graham Dan is just clubbed by Lucas Walker, who has gotten his money's worth on his 2 fouls.
Well, when I was talking to Trevor Gleason about who was starting tonight, he has set the challenge to the Melbourne Tigers. The top 2 rebounders in the previous game are going to get the start. And as such, you see Lucas Walker there just aggressively, almost a little bit too aggressively going to the glass. But he's identified that as their biggest challenge, which it is. They are, as I mentioned, the worst rebounding team in the competition. And tonight you've got 3 of the top 10 rebounders in the league in Kazoo, Jure Grant and Anatoly Bose. So it's interesting coaching strategy to try and motivate the players to get on the glass. Put up for grabs a starting spot.
There's plenty of motivation there as the Tigers are holding the narrow lead. That's a travel by Cam Tragah.
It is a travel, but it's a little one.
He knew it too.
It was a little one.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you kind of get it on an odd hop and you make your move, and yeah. He was kind of shaking his head as the whistle was being blown. Magin, who's been aggressive here early. Gines on a cut. Martin to Dan to Kazoo.
Offensive foul called on Julian Kazoo. Late call, but the correct call and a little wet spot.
Yeah, just that little one, you know, probably a 4-footer instead of trying to get a 2-footer. Now it's thrown out of bounds by Myron Allen.
There's the value of the extended defense. That is a almost inexcusable to have such a play like that. The pressure was okay, but when you've got a real small point guard like with Myron Allen, you can understand why coaches would go with the double team. It's very hard for the little fella to throw out of any sort of double team like that, but spacing was poor. That is a nice high-low action. Graham Dan to Julian Kazoo, and Julian Kazoo with a two-hand stuff.
Shane Hill having a word to Luke Martin. We're real happy about that one.
Reaching from behind. High-risk play when you come from behind. The great ones, Darryl McDonald, remember Derek Rucker used to be really good at it. But high risk, but sometimes you'll even get the ball. The mere fact of reaching around the back, the referees.
It was like they did it differently, though. It was like they'd sneak up behind you and just poke the ball away instead of kind of swatting at it. Very good at it. All of those names that you mentioned. Just as dangerous coming from behind as in front. Loose ball, Kazoo. Eventually, Magin gets it. Not a pretty-looking possession, but Magin gets the roll. Eventually, it goes down for the Kings. Sydney with a three-point lead and have scored the last 6. It's been a game of runs. Sydney scored the first 4. Then Melbourne got the next 5.
It has been a game of runs, but they're not big runs. 13 to 10. But I know what you're saying, Steve. And Ben Maxton's got the 7 points. He has looked aggressive. And just the way the game's unfolding, you're just seeing a few different trends in the coaching styles of Ben Moose Rabilliard and Shane Hill. He's really putting a lot of faith in Ben Madsen. And likes what he sees.
Well, I've spoken to Shane a couple of times, and he was saying, look, we're going to have scoring droughts, you know, just as everybody does. But our defense has got to match it up and feel that and be able to pick it up on the defensive end to be able to kind of bridge the gap of these little droughts that we're going to have.
Well, he's called out Ben Madsen and Julian Kazoo. They're the two players that he's called out to set the tone on the defense, and they've responded so far. Julian Kazoo did a great job against Luke Schenscher, against the Townsville Crocs last Sunday. We've already spoken about Ben Madsen. So when you're a new coach coming in, you've probably got that period of time where you can just look objectively and say, well, this is what I've seen from you guys so far this season, and this is the areas you need to work on, and you come without any sort of baggage so you can call players out. And if guys like Julian Kazoo and Ben Madsen buy into that, it has a rippling effect throughout the team. When your guns buy in to the challenges being thrown from the coaches, that is enormous.
5 of 17 and 4 of 13, respectively, from the field. That's the percentage as we get a skip to Allen. Allen pulls up, going right, and splashes one down. Nice. Just like that, it's a one-point game. Magin skips it over to Johns. He finds Kazoo to Magin. And Luke Martin. That one's on Cam Trega as the two bigs were jostling for position.
It is down low, and that's a handful, particularly for Cam Trega, who is undersized against Julian Kazoo. He's not renowned for his defense, and he's not all that nimble on his feet, so his ability to get and use those feet to front it and play denial defense down low is a big challenge. Bigger fellas, that speed is not so much of an issue because you just got size. Size prevails, but this matchup here, the speed and agility for Cam Trega to get around and deny Julian Kazoo is going to be the key.
I hear you talking, Andrew, but I'm just looking up at the scoreboard, looking at the shooting percentage. Just hoping this thing picks up. Myron Allen, some nifty footwork. Lewis with one at the buzzer. I'm sorry, it was Daniel Dillon. But after